All right, good morning, Cyber Traders. Welcome back. What's today? Today's Wednesday. It is freezing here in New York. I don't know where you guys are part of the world, but looks like winter is here. I guess only for a day, they said. Then it's going to get back to the 60s. So I'm looking forward to doing a little striped bass fishing this weekend. But before we do that, we got some trading going on. What was the news? We just got news out on Norwegian Cruise Line that they're going to do a secondary offering. Is that what they're going to do? They got to raise $30 million. They're going to do an offering at what they say was it $20.40? That's ridiculous. I mean, I'm seeing more and more and more of that every day. Do they really need $40 million? I mean, if the stock goes up $1, the amount of shares is your $40 million. So it's like, they must be really hurting for money. I mean, I guess stimulus package, whatever it is, but get used to it because this is how things are going to be playing. But anyway, 5 feet of snow here last week in parts where you are. Westchester, New York, is freezing. So that's the right. 70 here in Kansas City. Oh, I feel bad for you, Ed. Thanks a lot. Freezing over there in Ohio. What about you guys? Anyone here in YouTube and Facebook? Good morning to you too, Dale. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Ice cold where you are up in Chicago. I was at Chicago. Was I there? I was there about a year ago, and they said it was one of the nicest weeks ever. And I'm like, and it's usually like, wow, it's beautiful, but it's cold there. Beautiful town. But talking about Chicago, what a great event we had yesterday with Tom Sosnoff, guys. If you missed it, it is going to be on our YouTube channel. I think, we love having Tom Sosnoff from Tasty Works here. It's always great that you guys sent me some questions to ask him. He came up with some pretty good things that he was teaching us a little bit about options. This is where you pretty much got him off the cuff. Not in his show, but you really can kind of ask those questions, and just great to have him. We had hundreds and hundreds of people there that showed up, and like I said, if you did miss it, we will have it on YouTube channel. You don't want to miss that interview where I really kind of pressured him on certain questions, but nothing serious, but more or less on seeing what his thoughts are, because as you know, me and Tom have been friends for almost 20 years now, and we've been through the best times of the market and the worst times of the market, and we actually benefit. We learn more. I think a lot of you are going to learn this in there. We learn more about our losers than our winners. And we always like to talk about our losers because that's how you learn. And remember, here at Cyber Train University, one of the biggest things that we try to train you is we don't teach you how to make money. We teach you how to stop losing it. Once you learn how to stop losing money, then you'll learn how to make money because the winners take care of themselves. But you building a little igloo where you are, John? All right. I'll tell you, it is awfully cold. But you can see I got my sweater on, right? It's the first time I've been wearing something like this. I'm usually like a t-shirt guy. But all right, but let's go right into the market. We got a couple of things I want to kind of point out with some of the stocks that were trading yesterday. I want to start off with Riot, but Riot has just been an animal. I mean, look, it even went up higher. Riot has been doing great. I own this stock, and then I sold it, okay? I was at 3. It wasn't going anywhere. And then Josh in the trading room keeps telling me he's a big Bitcoin fan, and he's doing great on Bitcoin. But you could see that, sometimes you can't trade Bitcoin, so you could trade some on the blockchain. And Riot all of a sudden just, look, it went to 7. 7, my God, I'm killing myself right now because it wasn't going anywhere. I've moved my money, and this is a swing trade. It's saying the day trade. We day traded it. We did great on a day trade on it. But on a swing trade, I mean, if I had a good position like I had, I'm telling you, I would have killed it in Riot. But anyway, it was a stock like $50. The only issue with Riot, it moves very volatile. Look what happened this morning. It gapped up pretty nice. It was at 680, went down to 610. Okay. So be very, very careful on stocks like that. What else that we had? The PLTR, this thing is just like, what an animal, okay? New IPO, 11, went to 15. It went to 16, went up to 18. Another great moving stock yesterday. A couple of, really, those, we did pretty well. The only issue I had with some of these stocks, man, they had some nasty shakes on. Sometimes you see how they just went up and they just, boom, they just basically come down. Let me fix the chart here so you guys can see a little bit better. Here you go. I'm showing you pre-market also. But you can see this thing ran from 16, went to 18, came back down to the 17s, went up, went to 1850, came right back to, the thing was like all over the place. Very hard stock to day trade, which, by the way, my motto moving forward is this: trade small and trade often. Everybody got that? That's going to be my new slogan for now on. Trade small and trade often. The smaller you trade, the more you'll trade often, the faster you'll learn. Remember, if you don't trade, you're not going to learn. But if you trade too heavily in something, you're going to get shaken out. And by the way, I'm going to talk about that in my phase 3. You're going to get shaken out and you're going to be like, damn it, you know what? I had that stock. And you know what? I'm guilty sometimes too. Till today, I still make that mistake. Sometimes I like a stock because of the price. I could buy more of it, got good spreads. I buy a lot of it and I'm like, damn it. And actually, I'm guilty. I did it 2 days ago. I had close to like 10,000, 5 or 10,000, 10,000 shares of Riot. I got shaken out. I sold it at 4. Look where it went to 6. But I'm looking at. But you know what? If I didn't have that many shares and I trade a lot less, I probably would have held on to it because it's different. But that's what you have to learn being it. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But you got to be careful. Remember, trade small and trade often. All right, let's go through some of the watch lists that we have. Let's start with the A list before we go to the B list. All right, so all the people I want to invite to my wedding, let's talk about this one, the A list. AHT, stock is doing great in pre-market. You guys cleaned up on this one. 8:30 this morning, the stock went from 480 all the way to 620 already, and she's still strong. Look at those iceberg orders on the level 3, all over the place. They're getting taken out one by one. It had a little bit of a nasty shake just right before. I saw that little correction going on right after, was that 950 right there? Let me point this out right here for you. Yeah, there was a little bit of a shake right here. Actually, this was a shake. We had a big pop right there, came back down. But you see how it's breaking higher highs? You got to break that higher high right there, and that stock should really have a nice little move. But those are the things that you have to look for as a trader. You got to know where those higher highs are. All right, so that one was a nice move. IVEX, I want to keep an eye on that one too. You know what? Let me scratch that. I thought she was looking pretty good. So I'm taking her off my list. Never mind. Scratch that. And you know what? That could happen. You see something you like, and next thing you know, you're like, having second thoughts. I didn't go anywhere. IHT, another nice little mover stock right here. You could see this one right here moved really nice, had a really nice move, went from $2.20 to $2.30, and she's starting to make lower lows, okay? But she's got building a little bit of foundation here at $2.60, and you could see that there is a little bit of a buy right here, from what we could see here, right around 5,600. Not a lot of orders out here, so you got 100s, you got 600s, but that's a pretty big buyer right there at that price. So keep a close eye on that one too. That one's going to make the A list. Now the A list, listen, there's a couple of swing trades also. I still own Nicola. She's going up nice and steady. I got to really focus on this 23. If we break this 23, we're doing pretty good. Pinterest, I'm still in pins. Pins doing pretty decently. We killed it on Pinterest, but we also took a little bit of correction. It came back down, but I bought back into it. Good thing I did buy it. But I traded smaller. I traded harder on this one earlier. I got lucky. Listen, I got lucky. We all got lucky when it ran from 50 and it gapped up all the way to 70. It blew earnings out of the way. But that one, like I said, that was pretty good. I got that one. What else I got? Nicola, pins, and DraftKings. DraftKings actually doing pretty decently. That one's starting to make a little bit of an uptrend. We made a lot of money in DraftKings. It took a huge hit. Don't know why, but thank God we got out of it. And listen, the biggest lesson we learn when we swing trade, and you learn some day trade. A lot of people, traders, don't like to take losses. And the reason why they don't like to take a loss is because they own too many shares of it. And then what happens, I always just say, listen, you could just buy it back cheaper. And you know what? It's easier to take a loss now than say, okay, you know what? It's like you love a company so much. I'm like, why am I going to sell it? I'm just going to, I don't want to sell. I like the company. I know, but why not buy it back cheaper? And who knows how much lower it can go. So that was a really good trade. That was a good example on DraftKings. All right, a couple other stocks. James already made 22 cents on MARA. You know what? I saw that stock. She was on the morning watch list, MARA. Let me go bring it up. And you know what? She's up about 6%. The only thing is I had this on the B list. I didn't have it on the A list, but it's just obviously made a nice little pop right there. Remember, always think about taking a profit. Don't get greedy. Okay, let's go to the B list. So we found this one stock that's up about 30%. She's number 4 on the big percentage gainers list. She's really not going anywhere, but we remember that we traded the stock in October. She went from 230 to about 450 in one day. She went up 100% during the market hours, which is pretty substantial. I want to keep an eye on it. Good spread. Looks like a little bit of an algo stock right there. GDRX. My God, this stock is just getting crushed. I don't know what's going on with good RX, but we saw it yesterday. I said it was a short, and guess what? It even opened down even lower. So listen, if you knew how to day trade, you could learn how to swing trade, okay? Because if you saw what was happening yesterday on the news, let me bring this up. You could see how it was trending down, and it gapped down. It was at 46. It gapped down, went to 38, started breaking lower lows, which, by the way, listen, when you trade and the stock is making lower lows and it's trading at the lows of the day, the writing's on the wall, okay? Because the second half, of trading is the last hour. And if it's trading at the lows of the day, what do you think it's going to do? Start going up? Well, guess what happened? Didn't work too well for good RX. And I like the company. And you know what? CVS got hammered, all of them just getting really, just hit. I mean, it came back a little bit, but I don't know what's going on with those companies, but not looking too well. DKNG, bring up that one. This one also is another one we traded yesterday. Had a great move, went from $1.40 to $2.40. Look, she's already at $3.18. All right. So another stock that's moving nicely. Now I put her on a B list because, she's kind of like dwindling down a little bit in pre-market. So it got me a little nervous. I'll keep an eye on that one. But that one, I know a lot of you traded this morning. And that was also, I forgot to mention, one of the movers that we traded yesterday too. So if you missed out, there you go. CRMD might be going on the A list. I mean, just started making a little bit of a move right here. Let me just fix this chart so you can see a little bit better. 95,000 shares, not up a lot, which I like, up only 14%, but she is gapped up a little nicely. That one looks pretty nice, pretty good. TGI, and this ain't TGI Fridays, by the way. Some people are like, was that TGI Fridays? I don't even know if they're even public. Some of the conglomerates probably own it anyway. But TGI trying this, we trade the stock in the past. It's been a really nice swing trade. Stock was at 650, 950. Look, it's already at 1250. It's only been in the beginning of this month already. Stock has basically over doubled. Nice mover, but a very tricky stock because she's like sneaky. You don't see her, but she's like more of a gapping stock, more in the intraday. If you look over here, you could see it. You could see how it just goes up, it stops. It goes up, it stops. So I want to keep an eye on that. That stock could be a very interesting stock. You also got to remember too, and I know we covered this in phase 1 on Monday for all the students. You got 3 T's: tradable, trend, and trap. If the stock is not tradable, forget about everything else. So the spread is part of the tradable rule. You got to make sure it's stock's tradable. So, cyber traders, when you're in the trading room, you always talk about, say, listen, nice stock. I say, but it's just not tradable. The spread's way too big. Unless you're gonna try to scalp it or try to do a spread trade on it, you got to be careful. Lowe's, crushed. I don't know. I thought everyone likes Lowe's. Oh, Home Depot. They're obviously not doing too well. Shockingly, in this what's going on with this epidemic. I mean, you would think like they did great. I mean, every brand name stock actually did really well, but not really doing too well now. And then obviously we could keep an eye on Norwegian Cruise Lines, which, by the way, if one of them are going down, they're all going to go down. Remember, there's a basket of them. There's Carnival, there's Royal Caribbean, Century. I mean, they're all pretty much in the same basket. And also, this also has a lot to do with airlines, which, by the way, that would really crush the airlines. If you see airlines start offering secondary offerings, that's not good. You don't want to stock, adding. You want them to consolidate. All right. Bonnie says they closed a Lowe's store by you. Closing stores in some markets. Is that what they're doing? All right. Well, it's a pretty big ass store, you know. I like Lowe's and Home Depot. I think I'm more of a Home Depot guy, you know, as a contractor, like, you know, building stuff. But I think as in like nicer stuff, I think Lowe's blows them away. I think it's a nicer looking store and everything else. But I guess it comes down to money. All right, guys. So anyway, there's our watch list. Lowe's earnings were good, but profits were less. Is that what Josh is saying? Josh Fisher on the on YouTube Live. Is big. Is that why Mara is up? Yes. So question is, why is Mara up? They're all pretty much trading side by side. All right. So listen, if you're watching us online or you're watching this video on YouTube, remember, you're always welcome to join us. Just click on the bottom, do a $9 trial, come and join us for a week. And remember, we're always live here at 9 a.m. and also at 2:30. So for everybody else, we'll see you back at 2:30. And you guys know you have class today. We're going to see how things work out. And then listen, just trade an hour. And remember the motto: trade small and trade often. Good luck, be safe, and we'll see you back here at 2:30.